Hello friends, I welcome you here for lecture 2 of Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. Here we are dealing with the unit 1 of this subject. In previous lecture at the end we were discussing about the contributors of IE. We discussed the contribution by Gilbreth. Now let us discuss the contribution by Frederick Taylor. So if we look at the historical development of IE, historians of science and technology might argue that the beginning of industrial engineering dates back to the World War I, or some might say towards the 18th century. The work done by the F.W. Taylor was concerned primarily with the concept of productivity, and even though he did not refer to it in one of those terms. Basically, prior to Taylor's work, there were other investigators too, such as Adam Smith, Frederick Taylor, Babbage. There were many, but the contribution by Frederick Taylor is very important. Why? Because he proposed the many systems for managing the task, such as constitutions of day's work, how much work should be assigned to the worker, wage payment system, elimination of waste, training of workers, understanding between managers and workers. So for managing a good industry, he proposed these principles during the early 20th century. That's why he has been quoted as the father of industrial engineering, probably the most often quoted and generally acknowledged investigator of studies that have led to the discipline of industrial engineering. That's why he has been credited with the due weightage. Taylor himself was a mechanical engineer. Though Taylor did not use the term industrial engineering in his work, his writing and talks under the aegis of ASME, that is American Society for Mechanical Engineers, are generally credited as being the beginning of this new discipline, industrial engineering. Taylor, however, preferred the term scientific management. What Taylor was proposing was more rational and planned approach to the problems of production and the shop management. So all these principles are related to the shop management, that is understanding between managers and workers, training of the workers, elimination of waste, wage payment system, and the assignment of day's work to the workers. That's why he has been credited or known as the father of industrial engineering. Now let us discuss here the objectives of IE. Basically, there are many objectives of IE, but the two main objectives are to establish methods for improving the operation and controlling the production cost. Yes, every industry struggles to improve the production. So how the production can be improved? Either it has to propose the new methods of doing the same task, and it has to eliminate the wastages. So it will result in the elimination of wastages, and ultimately the costs will be reduced. So these are the major two objectives of IE. Now let us come across the functions of industrial engineering, or you can say the scope, to develop simplest work methods and establishing best way of doing the work. So this is the first objective or function of industrial engineer, to devise the new methods of doing. Then the next function is setting the performance standards to evaluate performance of workers. So industrial engineer has to set a performance standards. There are various methods for setting the performance standard. So he can take the help of work study and method study to set the performance standard, and then he can plan the performance appraisal for the workers. Then next he has to develop a sound and fair wages and incentive schemes. As workers, employees are always concerned with the incentives and wages. So the wage system and incentives must be sound and fair. More the work is given, better incentives should be provided to the workers. So it acts as a motivation for the workers. Next, to help in developing and designing of inventory control system. So inventory is nothing but the raw materials which we store, the material which is under processing, the finished goods, then consumables, all this comes under inventory. So inventory control system should be in place. As and when any of the parts or consumables are required, that should be in the store. So industrial engineer has to develop and design an inventory control system. Next one is to help in preparation of job description and job specification. So this is again more important task the industrial engineer has to perform. Next, to develop the cost reduction and cost control systems. Here, the knowledge of economics, cost reduction systems, cost control systems will be helpful for better management of costs. And last, to develop, to help in selection of plant layout and layout of machines to allow smooth flow of material. So this is again one of the important tasks the industrial engineer has to perform. While selection of plant layout, he has to look after all the facilities, all the government policies, all the policies of the organization for management of the plant layout, and then he has to decide which layout is to be selected, whether it is a line layout or product layout, whether it is a process layout. Then he has to decide which machines are to be grouped together, or whether which sequence of processing operations are to be done, because once the layout is selected and layout is planned, that is permanent. There is no change is done in the short term. So it should result in the smooth flow of material. That means at any of the places there should not be any stacking or overcrowding of the material. So flow of material should be smooth. Now let us discuss here the applications, or we can say the scope of industrial engineering in service sector. In 1940s, industrial engineering was mainly applied to manufacturing industries, right? Because Taylor's principles were basically for production industries or shop production, job shop productions. So thereafter, after 1940s, or we can say at the mid of 20th century, this industrial engineering was concentrated towards the manufacturing industries for improving the methods of production, to develop work standards, or to formulate the production control and wage policies. But later on, the use of industrial engineering also spread it to non-manufacturing activities. You can say the services such as construction management, transportation, farm, airlines, health services, banking sector, government organizations. So many operations such as maintenance operation, public utilities, military operations. These activities were quite easily performed with the applications of tools from industrial engineering. Now, in the government organizations, we know that there are always new activities happen in the government sector. So, to plan these activities very effectively, to apply the various policies and to get the feedback, that is result analysis, is very important. in private organizations, or you can say any of the organizations, besides production and services, other concepts are marketing, finance, purchasing, and industrial relations. So this can be used or applied very effectively. So other areas for industrial engineering, concepts of industrial engineering applied are water services, gas services, electricity, and telephone services. Now let us discuss the concept of productivity. Now before that, let us discuss what is the production. Production is any process or is a procedure to transform a set of inputs into output having the desired quality. So we have to use the inputs such resources: man, machine, materials, money, management, information, and energy. And the output is the finished goods or services. But if you design precisely, the production is a value addition process. Usually, production refers to the absolute output. That means what is the exact product we are processing here. Now, in production process, our objective is to use these resources optimally. Now let us say the example here for production of small parts such as televisions or scooter manufacturing. Production in everyday life can be noticed in factories, hospitals, offices. So there are 4 recognized factors of production. So these factors are nature of resources, labor, capital, and enterprise. Now let us define the productivity here. So productivity is a function of providing more and more of everything to more and more people with less and less consumption of resources. That means here we are interested to increase the more and more output by using less and less inputs. So this seems to be contradictory, but we have to minimize here the use of resources, or we have to reduce the wastages. Ultimately the output will be same, so productivity will be more. So mathematically, productivity is defined as the ratio of output to the inputs. So generally it refers to the efficiency of production system. So productivity is a quantitative relation between what we produce and what we use as a resource to produce them. That is the ratio of output to the input. So production system at large is a part of a business firm, right? Now if you see here the productivity can be increased when the production is increased without increasing inputs, that's we discussed. With the same production with decreasing inputs, that is by reducing the use of resources. And last, the rate of increase in output is more than that of increase in input, right? The rate of increase in output is more than that of increase in input. So ultimately productivity will be increased. So let us have one example here. Suppose a company produces 160 kg of plastic. So let us concentrate here. Productivity for first year is 80%. 160 kg of plastic mold part produced, consumed quantity is 200 kg. So productivity is 80%. In second year, 320 kg molded parts are produced. Quantity utilized is 420 kg. So productivity is 76%. And during the third year, the molded parts produced are 400 kg and resources utilized are 400 kg. So efficiency is productivity is 100%. Now let us have a conclusion here. From this illustration, we can know that for second year, even though production has doubled, productivity has decreased from 80% to 76%. But for the third year, production is increased by 150% and corresponding productivity increased from 80% to 100%. Thank you.